I'm Nirmala. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Today I am going to explain about the physical design of the IoT and the logical design of the IoT. The things in the IoT usually refers to the IoT devices which have unique identities and can perform remote sensing, activating and monitoring capabilities. IoT devices can exchange the data with other connected devices and applications directly or indirectly, or collect the data from other devices and process the data locally, or send the data to the centralized servers or cloud-based applications backends for processing the data, or perform some task locally and other tasks within the IoT infrastructure based on the temporal and space constraints. So this is the general block diagram of an IoT device. This IoT device consists of the several interfaces for the connection to the other devices with the both wired and the wireless. IoT interfaces for sensors, interfaces for internet connectivity, memory and storage interfaces, audio and video interfaces. The connectivity devices like the USB host and the Ethernet are used for the connectivity between the devices and the server. The processor is like a CPU and other units are used to process the data. These data are further used to improve the decision quality of the IoT system. Audio and the video interfaces, an interface like HDMI and RCA devices is used to record audio and the videos in a system. Input and the output interface. To give the input and the output signal to the sensors actuators, we use the things like UART, SPA and CAN. Storage interfaces. Things like SDMMC, SDIO are used to store the data generated from the IoT device. Memory interfaces. Memory interfaces are usually chipset which makes the computation processing along with the processor. Graphics GPU is a processor that is specially designed to handle the intensive graphics rendering task. So these are the IoT protocols, and this application layer HTTP, COAP, WebSocket, MQTT, XMP, DDS, AMQP. In the transport layer we use this TCP and UDP, and in this network layer we use this IPv4, IPv6, 6 LO WPAN. In link layer we use 802.3 Ethernet, 802.16 WiMAX, 2G, 3G, Elite cellular, 802.15.4 LRW band, 802.11 Wi-Fi. So these are the IoT protocols which is used in the network. Application layer protocols defines how the data can be sent over the network with the lower protocols using the application interface. These protocols includes HTTP, WebSocket, XMPP, MQTT, DDS and AMQP protocols. HTTP, this hypertext protocol is a protocol that presents in an application layer for transmitting the media documents. It is used to communicate between web browsers and servers. It makes the request to the server, then waits till it receives a response, and in between the request server does not keep any data between two requests. COAP, Constrained Application Protocol. It is used for the M2M applications meant for the constrained environment, network and devices. It is used for the web transfer protocol, uses the request and the response model. It runs the UDP instead of TCP. XMPP, Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol, is a protocol for real-time communication and streaming XML data between network entities. It provides the messaging, gaming, presence and data synchronization multiple products. In WebSocket, this protocol enables two-way communication, a full duplex between a server and the client. It is based on the TCP. MQTT, Message Queue Telemetry Transport, is a lightweight messaging protocol based on the publish subscribe model. It is well suited for constrained environment with limited resources. AMQP, Advanced Message Queuing Protocol, is a protocol for message-oriented middleware environments. It supports both point-to-point published subscriber model. DDS, Data Distribution Service, is the data-centric middleware standard for the M2M communication. It uses public subscriber model. DDS provides QoS and configurable reliability. Transport layer, it is used to control the flow of data segments and handle the error control. Also, these layers protocols provide the end-to-end message transfer capability independent for the underlying network. TCP, the Transmission Control Protocol, is a protocol that defines how to establish, maintain a network that can exchange the data in a proper manner using internet protocol. UDP is a user datagram protocol. It is a part of internet protocol called connectionless protocol. It is a protocol not required to establish a connection to transfer the data. Network layer, it is used to send datagrams or data stream from the source network to the destination network. We use the IPv4 protocols as a host identification that transfers the data in packets. IPv4, it is a protocol address that uses a unique and numerical label assigned to each device connected with the network. An IP address performs two main functions: host local addressing. IPv4 is an IP address that is a 32-bit long. It is a successor of IPv4 that uses 128 bits for an IP address. It is developed by the IETF task force to deal the long anticipated problems. 6L low WPAN. It is over low power wireless personal area network. It brings the IP protocol to the low power devices with a limited processing capability. Link layer protocols are used to send the data over the network physical layer. It also determines how the packets are coded and signaled by the devices. Ethernet is a collection of the Ethernet standards for the link layer. It is a set of the technologies and protocols that are primarily used in the LAN. It defines the physical layer and the medium access for the wired Ethernet networks. Wi-Fi IEEE 802.11 is a collection of WLAN communication standards, including extensive description of link layer. It operates mostly on 2.4 GHz or up to 5 GHz. Some others operate until 60 GHz. WiMAX. So it is a collection of the wireless broadband layer standards, including the extensive description for the link layer. It provides the data rates between 1.5 Mbps to 1 GB. So LRWPAN, it is a collection of the standard for the low rate. These standards are used for the specification of higher level communication protocols such as BIG-C. This standard data provides the rate from 40 kb to 24. It includes 2G GSM, CDMA, 3G UMTS and CDMA 2000 and 4G including Elite. So this is the local design. So it is consisting of this application management services, communication, device and security. Request response is a communication model in which the client sends a request to the server and the response responds to the request. When the server receives the request, it decides how to respond and fetch the data, retrieves the resources and representations, prepares the response and then sends the response to the client. Publish and subscribe is a communication model that involves publishers, brokers, and consumers. Publishers are the source of the data. It sends the data to the topics where managed by the broker. Publishers are not aware of the consumers. Consumers are subscribed to the topics which are managed by the broker. Push-pull is a communication model in which the data producers push the data to the queues and consumers pull the data from the queues. Queues helps in decoupling the message between the procedures and consumers. Exclusive pair is a bi-directional fully duplex communication model that uses a persistent connection between client and server. Once the connection is set up, it remains open until the client sends a request to close the connection. REST-based, it is a representative state transfer. It is a set of the architecture principles by which it can design the web services and web API that focus on the system resources and how the resource states are addressed and transferred. So this is the communication which is taking place between HTTP client, backend server and resources. WebSocket, it allows the bidirectional full duplex communication between clients and the service. It is an exclusive for the pair communication model. Thank you. That's it.